So, greetings everyone. My name is Larren Rosales, and along with JOEMRICH, JOVIN, SALCEDO, and LEONARD Samaniego, we're the group Jkl, and we're here to present our group assessment number 4 for our CCS109 finals presentation.
Greetings everyone, greetings sir. My name is JOEMRICH and SALCEDO, and I am going to introduce you our case study scenario, Safe City, a smart community monitoring system. For introduction, smart cities integrate advanced technologies to improve safety, efficiency, and citizen participation. And the Philippines Safe City Initiative demonstrates this through the use of CCTV surveillance, mobile application tracking, citizen emergency report, and AI-driven risk prediction. While these tools aim to strengthen public safety, they also raise important ethical and legal concerns, including risk to privacy, surveillance overreach, exclusion of vulnerable populations, algorithmic bias, intellectual property misuse, and potential violation of the Data Privacy Act. This study examines these challenges, compares them with similar global cases, that offers solutions to help Safe City evolve into a system that is secure, fair, inclusive, and legally compliant.
So, for this case scenario's problem identification, wherein we will tackle first the ethical issues. First is the privacy and consent. The system collects sensitive data without meaningful and informed consent to its users. Number two, security and data breach risks. So the system collects large amounts of personal data. This increases the vulnerability to cyber attacks. And number three, equity and digital inclusivity. Since the users have a diverse backgrounds, not all of them have the same digital literacy that the others have. So not all of them can access or benefit from this system equally. Number four, algorithmic and bias and discrimination. Artificial intelligence tools may unfairly target some or a group of individuals depending on their let's say knowledge or depending on certain criterias. And number five, lack of transparency and accountability. Citizens are not informed about the data used or given ways to challenge the decisions of the artificial intelligence. And now let's move forward to the legal concerns. Number one is the data protection compliance. The system may violate data protection principles like purpose limitation and minimization. Number two is the unclear legal basis and purpose. Using data beyond its stated purpose can be unlawful under surveillance regulations. Number three, municipality developer liability issues. Weak contracts create unclear responsibilities and limited citizen resource or recourse rather. Number four, intellectual property and licensing violations. Using unlicensed mapping software exposes the project to IP and licensing penalties. So moving forward with the ethical issues analysis. So let's start with privacy. So there's many concerns with the developers who build systems that collect sensitive data, and of course they have a strong ethical responsibility to protect user autonomy by ensuring, of course, number one, informed consent, transparency, and data minimization and user control. So basically, this discusses the how big the responsibility of a developer is when it comes to this kind of systems because they collect large amounts of data from their users. They have the responsibility to protect it from such vulnerabilities because not doing so can result in a lot of problems that involves the user's privacy.
Greetings everyone, I'm Leonard Samaniego and I'll be presenting to you the number 2 question. So What cybersecurity frameworks or practices should SafeCity have followed? Cite industry standards such as ISO 27001, NIST, GDPR, and MPC guidelines. So first, let's address security. The data breach in SafeCity happened because security was an afterthought. To fix this, SafeCity should have followed established frameworks like ISO 27001 or NIST. These aren't just rules, they are proactive guides for managing risk. Crucially, we must implement privacy by design. This means security measures like encryption and access controls are built into the app's architecture from day one, not added later. We must also follow the NPC guidelines and practice data minimization, ensuring we only collect the absolute minimum user data required to function.
And then for the accessibility, the SafeCity application show a major accessibility gap by excluding visually impaired users and those with older devices, limiting their ability to report emergencies or receive important alerts. This goes against the WCAG 2.1 standards, which require systems to be perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust for all users, without features like a screen reader, support, and compatibility with outdated devices. SafeCity fails in its role as a public safety tool and creates inetiquette in community protection. Improving accessibility is both a technical need and an ethical responsibility, ensuring that vulnerable groups are not left behind and strengthening trust in government-led smart city initiatives.
Now let's move with bias and fairness. So since the system utilizes artificial intelligence, uh, the bias and unfairness that may arise from uh, this kind of utilizing the AI systems can really affect the user population, especially uh, the way the system acts is based on how the algorithm algorithm of the artificial intelligence learns. So if the AI learn from a lot of inequalities that is happening from its environment or from its users, it can reflect it and may worsen the already problem of unequal or biased treatment to its users.
Next is transparency. Currently, the SafeCity AI is a black box. It labels areas as high risk without telling us why. To fix this, we need user understanding. We must clearly communicate how personal data is used. We recommend using explainable AI or XAI by using visualization tools like Lime or SHAP or SHAP. The system can display exactly which factors like specific crime stats or time of day cause the AI to make prediction. Finally, we need accessible information such as user-friendly dashboards and plain language privacy policies so citizens aren't just left in the dark.
And then for the legal issues analysis, the Safe City faces a major legal issues because it violates several important regulations. The system uses license mapping software without permission, putting the municipalities at risk of intellectual property lawsuits. Its unclear privacy policy also violates the Data Privacy Act of 2012, which regulates transparency about data retention and third-party sharing. Additionally, the lack of liability agreement between the municipality and developers creates uncertainty about who is responsible if harms occurs. Similar globally incidents such as the 2019 PhilHealth data leak show how serious the consequences of non-compliance can be, with the penalties under the RA of 10173 and even stricter sanctions under law like the GDPR. This risk highlighted the urgent need for Safe City to establish proper legal and compliance frameworks.
Moving to our proposed ethical solutions, we have 4 key pillars. First is privacy by design. So privacy must be the default settings. Users should not have to dig through menus to protect their location. They should have to opt in. Second is algorithmic bias auditing. We must regularly test the AI to ensure it isn't unfairly targeting low-income neighborhoods. Third, XAI implementation. As mentioned, we must force the AI to show its works and explain risk flags. And fourth is inclusive design. We must build for the most challenged users first, like the visually impaired, and if the app works for them, it works for everyone.
And then for the legal compliance solutions, Safe City must address key legal and compliance areas to operate responsibly. It should secure proper licenses for all third-party tools to avoid intellectual property violation and penalties. The privacy policy must comply with RA 10173 by clearly specifying data retention, third-party access, and consent procedures. Clear liability contracts between the municipality and developers are essential to define responsibilities and protect citizens. Additionally, adopting GDPR-aligned practices on user consent and data protection will strengthen compliance and prepare Safe City for future global interoperability.
Now let's move forward with the technical enhancement plan. Number one is data minimization and purpose limitation. So this concerns with how the data from the users are being collected. So for this one, it should only collect the necessary or essential data that aligns with the system's purpose to avoid unnecessary or continuous tracking, which of course can limit the data's vulnerability to such risks. And number two, enhance accessibility, since the user population has of this system has a lot of came from a lot of diverse backgrounds. uh, Catering to accessibility to its users can be beneficial. So, in doing so, you should follow accessibility standards to ensure that the system is usable by people with diverse needs. And number three, system testing with diverse groups. So, they should test the system with varied users to identify and address usability and access issues early. So some stakeholder policy recommendations for the users. So they should have some type of opt-in consent wherein Safe City should require clear opt-in permission for all sensitive data collection, including the continuous location tracking. Number two is the transparent data practices. Of course, the platform should be transparent with how they collect and process and use the data that are being collected. And user control over permissions. The user should be able to pause, change, or revoke data permissions at any time to maintain autonomy. Explainability of AI decisions. The Safe City should give the users the right to understand or to know or to comprehend why labels certain areas as high risk. And the next one is the mechanisms to change AI errors. The system must allow the users to contest or correct inaccurate information or discriminatory information that the AI has put out. And lastly, fair and ethical AI governance. So these are the measures that collectively ensure that the system is transparent, fair, and empowering for users.
Finally, our policy recommendation for developers. We propose a strict security by designs policy. This mandates that the coding team integrates security checks and encryption at every stage of development rather than patching leaks after they happen. We also require an algorithmic fairness protocol based on the IEE 7003 standard. So this ensures that all decision-making logic is verified and free of discrimination before the app is released to the public. It is about being proactive, ensuring technology serves the public interest safely.
And the stakeholders policy recommendation, all about that government. The government plays a crucial role in ensuring the ethical and legal success of Safe City by enforcing strict compliance checks, mandating transparency report, and strengthening collaboration with the National Privacy Commission or the NPC. Regular compliance audit would guarantee that the system adheres to the Data Privacy Act of 2012 RA 10173 and the other relevant regulation, thereby protecting citizens' rights. Transparency report which disclose how data is collected, stored, and shared would foster accountability and build public trust in the initiative. Moreover, closer collaboration with the NPC would provide expert oversight, ensuring the Safe Cities practices align with the national standard on data protection and privacy. By implementing these measures, the government can establish a framework of accountability that balances the technological innovation with the protection of civil liberties.
So to conclude this presentation of ours, so the Safe City case shows that uh, while advanced smart city technologies can provide valuable benefits, uh, along this is some serious ethical risks, especially when it comes to the transparency, fairness, and of course, the most important, consent. And these things are mostly overlooked. So, to ensure that these things are maintained and observed with the smart city itself, so there should be some strong ethical and legal frameworks that protects the user's rights, especially when it comes to privacy and their information, especially personal ones. So to minimize such vulnerabilities like cyber attacks, breaches that can expose the user's information. And of course, this smart city and its systems should comply with data protection laws. So instead that the users will instead of the users feeling anxious or threatened with the possible risks that the smart city have, they should be instead empowered and feel safe or safeguarded with the smart city's benefits. So they should the its users, basically the citizen of the smart city, should feel safe and empowered with the systems and while maintaining public trust, of course.